Welcome to the Emotional Abuse Recovery Podcast, a podcast specifically designed to help you heal after a toxic or narcissistic relationship. This podcast teaches you to use your subconscious mind to go from feeling stuck to set free. In here, you will learn how to use the power of your own mind to free yourself from emotional pain, move forward with confidence, and experience the inner peace you deserve in your healing journey after emotional abuse. I'm your host and subconscious reprogramming coach, Allison Dagney. So let's get started. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast. I am not sure what number episode this is. I am literally just on here spur of the moment because I was thinking about something, and typically for me, if I feel inspired, then I just go with it. So if I'm going to be writing for my next book, I just wait until I feel inspired or something pops into my head or a memory comes up, and then I get to writing. And it's the same way when I bring things to you, and this is one of those times. So I was scrolling on my phone and I opened up Instagram, and I don't know if you know how, like if you just open up your Instagram app, you might see a post and then immediately it refreshes, and so you miss it and you don't see really what it was. Well, that happened to me today, and there was a man being interviewed, and he was asked by the interviewer, how do you know when you're on the right path? Well, because I didn't get to hear it, I decided I'll just answer this myself. And so I got out my phone and I started kind of typing in some notes. And so I want to share this with you because this might be something that some of you struggle with. Like, how do you know if you're on the right path? So first of all, let's talk about this idea of the right path. There is no right or wrong, okay? Just hear me out on this. That is human conditioning, okay? So humans say what is right or wrong. We as human beings determine what is right, what is wrong, what is good, what is bad, right? People make these type of definitions. So if you say it's wrong, then it's wrong. And if you say it's right, then it's right. Because think about it, two people can have two totally different opinions. One person can say it's not wrong to do this, and someone else can say yes, it is. That's what your perception is, okay? So let's keep going with this. Only you know if it's right or wrong for you. Your path is not the same as everyone else's path. So I was thinking a little bit about this. Do you think a person who was on a path that included maybe drug addiction, drug abuse, traumatic things in their life, right? Who really hit rock bottom, okay? They are on a path, like that's their path. And let's say that this person, after they hit rock bottom, they find their way out, they start healing, they start doing recovery work, and they're leveling up in ways that only that they could. Do you think that if this person had been sober for, let's just say a few years, 5, 10, or whatever, and you ask that person, was the path you were on the wrong path? How could you stand in a place of goodness and grace and recovery and healing and say you were on the wrong path? Right? In this very moment, wherever you are, if it's a place of goodness, you can't look backwards and say it was the wrong path, because look at where you are today and look at where it led you. That is the path that got you here. The path is just the path. Think about it like it's just the road where you learn and grow, where you experience life. And the thing is, the path never ends either. And people think that they're in some pathway that's going to get them to a final destination. No. Your final destination is when you die. That's it. That is your final destination. You can even try to change your path at any time that you want to, but be aware that the path is actually choosing you. So you might think, well, things aren't going so well for me right now, so I must be on the wrong path. But here's the thing. You have to remove these ideas about right and wrong when it comes to your journey. That's like saying there's only one way to get somewhere. It just isn't true. You can walk, you can bike, you can drive, you can swim, you can fly. I mean, you could roller skate, whatever. Just because you go it one way and someone goes it another way doesn't mean one is right and the other is wrong. All roads lead to a final destination, and that destination is yours. All it means is that there are different ways to get there. And as you know, I am really big on questioning things. So when I hear someone ask the question, how do you know if you're on the right path? Because here's the thing, you cannot know. You will not know. All you have to do is remove the right or wrong and just say, I'm on a path. I'm literally just on a path. Because it can't be wrong if it's your path. It has to be unique to you to help you get to where you need to be. For all of the lessons in your life, for all of the things that you need to work on to help you become the best version of yourself, or to remove the layers of things that people have programmed into you and made you believe about yourself that are causing you to feel down or sad or angry or holding bitterness or regret or guilt or any of those things. So when I hear words like right or wrong or good or bad, my ears perk up, because I know that that is all just programming. That is all just conditioning, that being part of the human experience lends to our vocabulary and how we perceive things. But it's so important to question these things. It's so important not to just allow these types of programs to run wild, because when we do that, we are not inspecting what those things mean for us. And we are not everyone. Everyone is not us. We are individual human beings. We have our own sets of values. We have our own sets of perceptions and beliefs. And that's not to say we can't change those things, because absolutely 100% yes, we can. So as you go about your day, I would really encourage you to think about the words that people use, like right and wrong, good and bad, right? Just think about that. In what other ways could we think about these things? Because what happens when we do not consider alternative options or possibilities is we block ourselves into thinking how other people think. And that's not us. To be true, to be authentic, we have to know what's right for us. We were created as individuals, not as a collective. We are an individual human person with our own unique ideas and our own unique personalities. Can these types of things be changed? Absolutely. But we're not created as a group. We're created individually. And so that's why it's so important to really pay attention to these things. So when I heard that question, how do you know if you're on the right path, right? I know probably a lot of you might think these kinds of things because the journey is so difficult. It's so hard. It's, I've equated it to being in a swamp for me. It's the rain and the lightning and being in the dark and having snakes and alligators and there's no one around, and you can't get out of the darkness, can't get out of the swamp. So believe me, I understand this questioning of like, how do I know if I'm on the right path? Well, for me, it wasn't even a path, it was a swamp, right? So I'm trying to give a little bit of lightness to this situation, of course, but if I looked at where I'm at today, and I am unaffected by my ex, I am the most joyful I've ever been in my entire life. Like, I could just be walking down the road with my dog and just my heart is just bursting with joy, like for no apparent reason, because of the work that I do, because of the things that I'm trying to incorporate into my life and the reprogramming things that I do. I am nowhere near the person that I used to be when I was in the swamp. But the swamp was the right path. I couldn't have gotten to where I am today without that path. And so you might be in your own swamp, or you might be on your own treacherous path right now. But please know that it's yours. It is designed, it has chosen you, it is to help you get to where you need to be. All of the lessons along the way, all of the difficulties, all of the happiness and the learnings and the things that you're able to take with you, right? As you're going along the journey, you're taking things with you. You're picking things up. You're putting it in your pack. You're carrying it along. And some things you're letting go of. Some things you're releasing. And some things you're dropping and leaving behind. And that's great, because we don't need to carry all of that baggage either. We want to take the good stuff and leave the rest behind. So thinking about it in terms of it being yours. The path can't be right and it can't be wrong. It just is. It just is your path. So you might be thinking, well, I don't want to be on this path. I don't like this path. This path is hard. This path is difficult. This path is painful. Like, get me out of here. I get it. I really, really, really get it, because I just wanted to get out of the swamp. But that was my path. I couldn't just get out of it. If I had just been extracted, like a helicopter came in and just pulled me out of that swamp, I would have missed all of the things that I needed in order to be where I am today. So if you are in a really dark place or really struggling, please know that it is your path, and there will be things that are difficult and there will be things that are not so difficult, and you will take whatever it is that you need along that journey, and it will help you become the best version of you that you can. I mean, even that you're listening to this podcast right now, that is part of your path. This is part of your path. The words that I'm speaking, the stories that I share, the tips, the tools, all of these things, they are planting seeds inside of you. They are helping you to see things from different perspectives. It is helping you when you read books, when you follow specific accounts, when you engage with different people in your life, when you have conversations with friends and loved ones, even when other people outside of you are doing things that upset you, that is still part of your path. Because guess what? There's things that need to be resolved. I knew that I needed to heal from my relationship, and I knew that these things that were coming up consistently and repetitively, things that were triggering me all the time, I knew that was the universe or God saying to me, this is something that needs to be resolved, because it kept showing up, right? It kept being part of my life, and I was done. I was done with it. I didn't want this to be part of my life anymore, and I wanted to get out of that swamp. I wanted to get, off of the path. And you may be feeling like that too, like, just get me out of here, bring the helicopter in and extract me. But I'm telling you, that's not how it works. You have got to go inside yourself. You have got to take all of the lessons, all of the triggers, all of the experiences, all of the beliefs. You have to take all that stuff and make it yours, owning it, and changing how you think, changing how you feel. That is what's going to get you out of the swamp. That's your helicopter. That's what's going to extract you and pull you out of there. It's you. The only person driving that helicopter is the future version of yourself. That's who's doing it. It's that leveled up, that healed, that better, more clear thinking version of you that's driving that helicopter, that lowers that rope to help you get out of there. So I just really wanted to share this with you guys. I mean, as I said before, when I feel inspired by something, I just have to share it. I just have to share it with you. Sometimes I don't know if I'm going to just make a post about it or write it in my book, but I really felt compelled to just talk about this on the podcast so that you could think of this for yourself. You could have something to hold on to, right? Because it's your path and nobody's path is the same. You're going to be taking a totally different path than me. We may have elements that are the same, of course, but I hope this gives you a different angle or perspective to think about where you're at on your journey and all the stuff that came before, all the footprints you left behind, all the things that you've been through, right? That's still part of your journey. It's still part of your path. So how can it be wrong if it's yours? All right, so thanks for joining me today. And if you ever have any questions or you want to talk about this a little bit more, just send me a DM over on Facebook or Instagram. I'm happy to chat with you about it. And if you would like to work with me one-on-one on a deeper level to help yourself move out of that path that you're on to a better place, right? To dry land or to a more beautiful meadow off the rocky path, I can help you do that. This is what I do every single day. I do it for myself and I help my clients with it. It all starts inside of you. So if you're determined to get out of the swamp, to get off the path, not saying it's wrong, right? It's not wrong, but you may just want to move forward in the path or move into a better place of your path. I can help you do that. Just send me a message or go to the link in the show notes and schedule a free call and we can have a conversation and see if it's the right thing for you. Hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you next time. Thank you for being here with me today in the Emotional Abuse Recovery Podcast. I hope you found value here with me. If this podcast episode was helpful to you, I'd love for you to hit subscribe and leave me a review. My goal is to help you go from feeling stuck to set free. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook, and you can check out whentearsleavescars.com for more resources and information to help you with your own emotional abuse recovery. Until next time, here's to believing in